The Bible.
That's right.
After three things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias,
Wow.
which is Captain Kirk's middle name.
What?
Captain Kirk. Kirk. What's his last name? Kirk Tiberius.
Yeah, I don't know. Blah.
Bill Shatner. Kirk Tiberius. No, wait.
Mhm.
What's Captain
That's
Kirk?
right.
Kirk is his last name, right?
Uh-huh.
What's Captain Kirk's first name?
Captain, nobody knows who is so-and-so.
You know Captain Kirk on Star Trek, right?
Right.
Now, his middle name is Tiberius.
Wow, what a name.
But what is his first name?
Tiberius?
His real name is William Shatner.
That's right. That's a dumb.
Canadian. He's a
It's
Canadian.
Yeah.
He's a darn Canadian.
Canadian, yes.
His middle name is Tiberius in the show.
Uh-huh.
Jim, it's Jim Kirk.
Jim Kirk.
Jim Tiberius Kirk.
That's right.
Why can't I remember that as Jim? Anyway, it's Jim Tiberius Kirk.
Yeah.
Now let's,
Jim, you got left a guy behind you.
the one in red, right?
Uh-huh. The one in red.
All right. Did you know that in Star Trek, whenever they wear a red shirt, those are the ones that usually didn't make it back to the ship? They got
Oh,
zapped.
really?
Lots of times, yeah, the red shirt ones got
It
zapped.
wasn't, who cares? Who cares if they make it or not?
Well, they were the ones that no one cared about. They always cared about Kirk and
That's right.
and Bones and Spock and Scotty and Avera
That's
and
right.
Chekhov
Mhm.
and Zulu.
3 hours and it's dead.
I don't get that one, but let's go back to the Bible.
Alright, that's better for you.
After three things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, which is Jim Kirk's middle name, Jim Tiberius Kirk.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Then a great multitude followed him because they saw Jesus' signs which he performed on those who were diseased.
diseased?
And Jesus went up on a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples.
Oh, that's different.
Now the Passover, a feast of the Jews,
Uh-huh.
was near.
Uh-huh.
Then Jesus lifted up his eyes, and seeing a great multitude coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread, that these may eat?"
Go down to the corner.
Corner drugstore.
Yeah.
So it kind of rhymes. He said to Philip, "Where should we find bread so we can eat?" That'd be a good
Yeah.
line
Go
for a
eat
song.
your bread.
But this he said to test him, for he himself knew what he would do.
Yes.
He knew what he would do. That's another line.
Now that
He
one.
knew what he would do. It's another line for the song. This is very
Yeah, very good.
good one for a song here.
Uh-huh.
I have to write a song about this one.
That's right.
Philip answered him, 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them,
No.
that every one of them may have a little.
A little?
A little.
Uh-huh.
A little.
Right.
Not a little, a little.
A little, not a little.
Not a little, a little.
A little.
Okay, one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, "There is a lad here."
Where?
he said. Who has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish, but what are they among so many?
That's all farce.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
true.
not
It's in
many.
the Bible.
Oh, shit.
Let me
That's
finish.
what the Bible is.
Then Jesus said, make the people sit down.
Make them sit down. See much is worth.
Now there was such much grass in the place.
Right.
So the men sat down, in number about 5,000.
My God.
And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to the disciples.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the disciples to those sitting down, and likewise of the fish, as many as they wanted.
Right. And they had 9,000.
9,000 pieces of fish for the 5,000 people, right?
Right.
So, when they were filled, he said to his disciples, gather up the fragments that remain so that nothing is lost.
Nothing is lost.
Therefore they gathered them up and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of 5 barley loaves, which
Wow.
were left over by those who had eaten.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Then those men,
Uh,
see, they have so many more baskets left
Right.
over.
uh-huh.
Then those, and they only had like 5 barley loaves, but then they filled 12 baskets up left over from 5,000 people.
Oh my God.
So there was plenty of food. He made more food out of it.
Uh-huh.
Then those men, when they had seen the sign that Jesus did, said, this is truly the prophet who is to come into the world.
Right.
Therefore, when Jesus perceived that they were about to come and take him by force to make him king, he departed again to the mountain by himself
That's right.
alone.
Absolutely.
He didn't want them to make him king.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when evening came, his disciples went down to the sea, got into the boat, and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was already dark, and
Right.
Jesus had come to them. Then the sea arose because a great wind was blowing. A great wind was blowing.
Blowing.
So when they had rowed about 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus walking on the sea and drawing near the boat, and they were afraid.
Of course.
But he said to them, It is I. Do not be afraid.
Who is I?
Jesus.
Jesus is I?
In this sentence, Jesus said this. Then they willingly received him into the boat, and immediately the boat was at the land where they were going.
That's right.
On the following day, when the people who were standing on the other side of the sea saw that there was no other boat there except that one which his disciples had entered, and that Jesus had not entered the boat with his disciples, but his disciples had gone away alone. However, other boats came from Tiberias, which is the middle name of Jim Kirk.
Jim Kirk?
Captain James T. Kirk.
Huh.
Captain James T. Kirk. The
I'll be
T,
damned.
they call him Jim.
Finally found out who the son of a bitch
Yes,
was.
his middle name is Tiberius.
Uh-huh.
However, other boats came from Tiberias, near the place where they ate bread, after the Lord had given thanks. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, nor his disciples. They also got into the boats and came to Capernaum, seeking Jesus.